Welcome back, you guys. This is part 2 of our China trip vlog. We'll be visiting the children's wholesale markets and more. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. This particular women's market didn't have the average boutique clothing that we are used to in the US, but we did find some other things and we just went ahead and went to another market. This is so cute. This market actually had really nice clothing, but we did find out that they don't ship directly to the United States. You need a cargo service to get your clothing from China to the US. So we just kind of called it a day after looking for so long for decent women's clothing, and we went on to meet our manufacturers. Believe it or not, you guys, Tessa actually found these manufacturers on Alibaba.
Designer, so beautiful.
Thank you. I left my book. I wish I would have brought all of them. But let me show you what I have now, actually.
As I said in part 1, you guys, with the proper research, you can definitely find a great manufacturer or a vendor. My friend Tessa was in the process of starting a women's dreamwear line, which consisted of lingerie and robes, and these manufacturers were possibly going to bring her vision to life.
So I send you the pictures, and then you make. How can I see the sample? You'll mail the sample to me.
Yes.
In the U.S.
We can design just as your picture.
Okay. Then you'll mail it the sample, and then I approve.
We control the quality and control the size. Yes, and you.
People here were just really nice and helpful. They even tested out materials to make sure they got her perfect vision. They also want to make money. Okay, this will be a really good business relationship that you guys will end up having. There's not much of a communication barrier because some of them do know English, but when looking for a manufacturer, make sure that you look for one close in your area and they'll be more than happy to meet up with you.
You're so sweet.
Did you take the video?
Yeah.
Look.
I'm gonna warn you guys now, we just did so much in one day, it would seem like multiple days, but this is still one day. Like, okay, after we met with the manufacturers, we went on to look at wholesale markets. We actually planned this entire trip on our own, no travel agent, no help, just us and the internet. So at one point we were doing a lot of wondering, but you know, we found our way around. But while wondering, we did run into a designer inspired wholesale market. Okay, first and foremost, I would like to take the time out to appreciate how these people let us record in their store, because you guys wouldn't even imagine how many times I got my camera smacked out of my hand on this trip. So finally, after days and days of dying of starvation from only eating noodles and rice and fruits, we found an Italian food restaurant called Borgiorno's. I think I'm saying it right. Excuse me if I'm not. But it was really good and it was authentic. It was authentic Italian food. Okay, you guys, at this point it was crunch time. This was one of our last days being there, and we needed to get a focus on what we originally came to do. She came to look for manufacturers and vendors for her dreamwear line to get that started, and I came to progress my children's clothing line. And throughout the trip, we've been focusing on finding vendors for our followers and for everyone else. We didn't come for hair, we didn't come for women's clothing, so we tried to take this day to just kind of focus on things that we needed and for our purpose.
We just arrived to the children's market. We should have, huh? Man.
Okay, you guys don't even understand my level of excitement when I finally found this children's wholesale market. Like, it was everything I could have imagined and more. One thing I loved about this wholesale market was after you purchased your items, they were ready within an hour for you to pick up and take with you. With most of the other wholesale markets, I noticed that we would have to pick them up the next day. That's still a short amount of time, but the fact that we could take these home within an hour was just great to me. And even better news, the cost of everything you see in this video is like $5 and less, no exaggeration. That's one thing I love about China is everything is so much cheaper than buying US based products.
The struggle.
I was so in love with like everything that I saw that I actually ended up buying way more than I expected to. And I didn't think about like how I was gonna get it back. While eating breakfast at our hotel, we actually met some new friends. They were actually from Australia. They're on a business trip. And we all decided to go out to dinner. At dinner, we all shared a couple of business tips with each other. Networking at its finest. You never know who you may meet.
This one, it's in English on your own menu.
Okay, you guys, so this is day 5, our last day in China. We were on our way to go visit the women's wholesale markets. We got there at 2:30, but unbeknownst to us, the markets closed at 2 o'clock. So we were unable to check out some U.S. type clothing vendors for you guys. But we did see some things like lingerie, waist trainers, swimsuits, and purses. But we were not able to see the really good women's clothing. And you know, kind of just unfortunate because we spent a lot of time doubling back to vendors for our businesses that we didn't get to see the women's wholesale market.
Oh. No?
Y'all, I had to just ease myself up out of there because he don't know me. Okay, so now it was time to head back to our hotels and start packing because we had a flight that night.
Look at this room.
This is supposed to fit in that. Okay, so this is what happens when you buy a bunch of stuff and you forget that you have to fly it home somehow. Don't be me. You guys, I came with one carry-on case and I ended up going to buy 2 check-in bags, and that's what I ended up going home with. I'm gonna do a Q&A video, so on there you guys can ask me questions and I'll let you know how I got my bags home, how I got around, how I communicated with vendors, how we met manufacturers and vendors, just anything you need to let me know. But I hope that these videos helped you guys one way or another.